pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Susan, would you call roll?
Sure. Jay.
Here.
Verna. Here. Cheryl. Here. Heather.
Present.
Jan.
Here.
And I'm here.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no changes to the agenda, it stands approved. And now it is time for election of officers. I'm going to turn it over to Heather.
I would like to make a slate to be presented: Jan President, Heather Vice President, Susan Secretary, and Jay Treasurer.
All those in favor, well, we need a second.
Would you repeat that, please?
Yep, Jan for President, Heather for Vice President, Susan for Secretary, and Jay for Treasurer. Same as we have now.
Okay, could we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are all set.
Congratulations.
And thank you to everyone that's put, and we all, but all of us, and thank you to all the officers that put forth so much. Okay, minutes. If there's no changes to the minutes, they stand approved. Okay, call to audience.
Hi, audience.
Any comments or?
Well, I'm Alan Allgaier. I'm the Vice President of the Friends of the Library, and I thought I should come to some of these meetings, and if I can, I'll come to as many as able, just to foster communication between our organizations for the betterment of our library.
Well, it's
Thank you.
nice, it's nice to have you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Okay, Laura, you're on.
Well, you have a written report, just a couple of highlights. The library things is doing very well. We started that in September, so that's 34 checkouts since September. And Alan is a big user of our library things. So, but we just ordered more items. A couple things we got a bubble machine, and we got a karaoke machine, and we got a radon detector, and a couple other things. And then we're waiting for Cyber Monday to order some things that we're hoping are going to go on sale. So it is expanding, it's doing well. We're looking at moving it. It's a little too tucked away for us, so we're thinking about moving it, but we're working on that. The conference in Indianapolis was wonderful. One of the biggest things I got out of it was that we're doing a lot of things right, which was really great to hear, because they were talking about all these new things they're doing, and I'm like, we're already doing that stuff. So I did get some good ideas, and I mentioned that we had a marketing team, and it kind of fizzled out, and we're going to get that back together and work on some new stuff. And one other thing, the Open Meetings Act refresher, I think I sent you all the link. It was really good. Claire Menbelia, who's the Library of Michigan library law consultant, ran the program, and she was really, really good. Answered a lot of questions. So I highly recommend that to read.
Any questions for Laura?
Actually,
Oh, go ahead.
I just had a question about your Robert rules. It wrote board workshops should be included as open meetings. So should we be starting to include our notes for all of our like our agenda and our minutes and all that stuff?
I would have to look into that. If it's an open meeting, does it have to include all of those things? That's a good question.
I don't know if that's something we should be providing. Pardon?
What meeting are you talking about?
Well, if we were to do a workshop, and it says should be included as open meetings. So when the board does a workshop, should we be including that? We put it, I think like Heather did a synopsis, but should that be all included in anything else that we're doing?
Kathleen
Like
says
posted
yes.
somewhere?
I know posted, I knew posted, but I wasn't sure about minutes, but Kathleen says, yeah, if it's an open meeting, it has to follow all the same rules.
So we need an agenda and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
And I think this also came up because we were discussing having some more trustee training.
Mhm.
And we thought we would just do it on a Saturday or something, but still, it has to be in an open meeting, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
should we have an agenda for the trainings we do at the?
Mhm.
Another option might be to take a half hour during your regular board meetings and do a training, and then it's already included, it's already been posted, it's already in the minutes, it's already included.
You're saying before our meetings, like we do now, or would it be during?
Or during, you could do it during.
We could?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'll do a training during your meeting.
Huh, okay. I have one more question. I'm not familiar with the marketing committee. Could you tell me more about that?
Well, I guess it was before I was here. Maybe Shauna knows more, but it was whoever was doing the Facebook, whoever was doing the TikTok account, the Instagram, and then Alyssa. So it was, I think it was Paige, Jesse, I'm not sure who was doing, before Rebecca, Instagram. I think maybe Rebecca, there was somebody doing Instagram before, but anyway, was it? Do you
So
know?
there's been several iterations of the different committee throughout probably the 8 years that I've been here. And the idea is that with marketing, you want to kind of, you either have one person who does it all marketing and nothing but marketing, or we have to divide it up into, okay, this person can take care of Facebook, this person. So we came up with a committee and everybody has something that they're in charge of, because the idea or principle of marketing is that you're not saying the same message across all of your platforms, but you're also engaging with all the audience on all your platforms. So there's, I think, Fran's on some parts of marketing committees because it's we need the paper and outreach side, and then there's all the website and all the social media type stuff.
So you want to make sure it's somewhat consistent, that everything has the same branding and that kind of thing, but and just kind of keep track of who's doing what.
Well, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, Jay?
It looks like we'll be receiving a nice refund on our insurance. I'm not familiar with how you get a refund from an insurance company. What's the kind of basis
I was
for
wondering
it?
that too.
Kathleen can probably explain it better than I can, but from what I understand, they put all the money into kind of a pool, and since it's a nonprofit, at the end of the year, they have to divide all that money back up.
Okay, so unused claim.
Right.
money, things like that. That's
Yeah.
terrific.
Yeah.
We don't get
Just
that
goes
at
in
Oh, I
home,
sign
do
up?
we?
No. We should.
Jeez. Okay, anything else? Okay, thank you, Laura. We have trustee reports, and Cheryl, you are first for FOL.
Okay, I attended the FOL meeting on November 13th. They had a guest who was the new Parks and Rec director, John Hogg. And basically, I think he was just looking for ideas based on how well our Friends group works. And looking for a Friends group basically for the tree library, because it needs some work and, you know, they want to try and get some. So I think he was just coming here for some ideas. And he also talked about teaming up with the library for some activities in the tree library, so that could be something that we do in the future. Treasurer's report, there was about $19,000 that they have in total. They gained 3 new members at the gala.
Awesome.
So that was nice, and so they've met their goal of 50 members. They are having the basket silent auction, Susan. It starts on November 27th, and it goes through December 15th. And do we have 10 baskets now, Alan? We only had 9 at the meeting, but
Sounds like 11.
11, okay. And then they are having their holiday sale on December 8th and 9th, and it's going to be set up like they used to do during the summer when we would have like the garage sale stuff out in the parking lot. So it'll be set up in here and different categories and all of that type of thing. So come, join all of that. Let me see if I had anything else highlighted here. Oh, I told them that I would encourage, there are a few board members that I don't think have joined yet. Please join. And, for a couple of Christmas fundraisers, they are doing what they're calling Advent stacks. So they're going to pick out books and kind of put them together in a little package and individually wrap all the books, and you can buy a whole package. So they'll be having those. I don't know when they'll be available. I know they're going to sell them at the holiday sale, and if there's others, they'll have them in the bookstore. And that's about it.
Okay, thank you.
Anything to add?
You have covered it very well.
Thank you. I'll get with you.
So, yeah, absolutely. They're doing so much, makes your brain hurt when you think about everything they're doing.
We appreciate
We do.
so much. We do. Okay, I have an advocacy report. I attended the MLA webinar, Freedom to Read Act, and just a real quickie, Michigan is one of the first states to be presenting legislation on freedom to read, and we will hear about it in Lansing hopefully by January, and the rest of the nation is watching Michigan because we're doing this first. Pardon me?
Something to be proud of.
Yeah, it is. So it was a very good webinar. Okay. Any other trustee reports? I think that's it. Okay. Jay, finances.
Okay. Call your attention to page 9 and 10, the check register for the month of October. All the usual kinds of expenses in there. Looks like we did get 2 custodial or cleaning charges, one from the old vendor, one from the new vendor, paying in advance, I believe. But other than that, nothing unusual. Is there any questions about the check register? If not, take a look at the balance sheet on page 11. Any questions about the balance sheet? Okay, I'll continue on. Income statement starting on page 12. I'm sure everyone's closely watching as we get near the end of the year, the line items and how much has been spent and how much is left. And I personally didn't have anything of a particular concern. I wanted to ask if any of the trustees had any questions or issues that they wanted to raise.
Of course I do.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jan.
No, mine is just on page 12, halfway down, and maybe it's just my ignorance, but why is, under services, why is it 200%? How do we get 200% there?
That means that we got more income than we had budgeted.
Yeah, so
okay.
we budgeted $2,500 and over $5,000 has come in. It's primarily been from the copy fax machine.
Got
About
that.
$3,900 for
Okay.
that.
I read all that and I still was like scratching my head, so thank you. Okay.
And of course, you
I'm
noticed the
learning.
564% under the estimates.
I did, and I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Donations are way up, or 973%. That's one of those things that you don't know what to budget for, right? You look back historically and you pick a number and wow, this is a great year. So
But those are a good things to see. how
those are
your
good
business
things.
is.
Yes, absolutely. Any other questions or observations?
Cheryl.
Sure.
I just had a couple questions. Under professional services, we've gone higher on the attorney fees, and the copy fees are slightly over where they should be for 10 months. So we're at almost 93%. Do we need to, at this point, move any money yet into that category?
I know you're asking this one. I don't think so. I think we're okay coming to the end of the year. We're still fine in the cost center.
Can you let us know at the next meeting for sure? Because if we do, we need to do that before the end of the year.
Okay.
We will have a December finance committee meeting and go over the November numbers at that point in time.
And then the same thing on the materials. I know that you try and order beforehand, but just so you kind of watch that one because it's right exactly at where October should be. So.
Yeah. Kathleen sent a note out this week about deadlines.
Okay.
When they can stop.
Not that I don't want to spend that money in
Right,
materials,
right.
I do.
Which which leads me to another question. Is the attorney fees because of the policies?
Well, it's from the whole year. So they did the parking lot contract, they did our lease contract, they did our,
Lawsuit follow-up.
lot of big stuff this year. So that isn't normal, that we will not have every year. So, yeah, the lawsuit, so,
Okay.
it's just higher than usual.
Mhm. Any other questions?
Just basically the same thing on the facilities. I noticed we're almost at 95% there too. I know some of that's parking lot and that kind of thing too.
Heavily weighted by the parking lot.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on that one
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, we're watching it very closely.
And then on page 16, we have the budget amendments. There's no change from the last couple of months there. So if there are no other questions,
Motion on the expenses?
yeah, I move that we approve the expenses for the month of October for $72,605.03.
Second.
Okay. I'm going to call roll because this is money. Susan? Yes. Jay?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Verna?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
Jan, yes. Okay. And that passes. Okay, thank you, Jay. We are at committee reports. For the trustee recruitment, we are not quite working on that yet, except I have talked to Laura, sorry, Verna, and we're going to put together some invitations with Brandon Library logo that we could handwrite and snail mail some invitations to whoever you want to have come. I'm thinking maybe 5 per. If you want, I already need 7, but if you need less, that's okay too. So we'll be coming up with some of that. Is there anything, Jay or Susan, that you want to add?
No, we talked about it.
Okay, great. Okay.
You said we'd be able to email this invitation as well, not just hand it to people. So we've got people that maybe aren't.
Okay,
don't see
that's
face to
fine.
face.
Yes, you did say that. Perfect. All right. Okay, 11.2, board training. I just have down that workshops should be in open meetings. So we have to make some decisions. Are we going to do this in our regular meeting? Are we going to pick a different day to do it? We're not quite there yet, but we're getting close.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Thinking possibly the end of January to start. We need to talk to Shauna. So we're working on it. Any questions from anybody? Or comments or hints, helpful hints? Okay.
Question.
Yes.
You had mentioned when we talked about this that maybe we'd meet after this meeting. Would you still want to do that, or is there not a need to do that?
I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
with Shauna, we should meet for a minute if we
It's
can.
hard to get her time, so if we can get...
Yeah,
Let her run out the door.
Could you stay for a couple minutes?
Okay, thank you.
Be very brief.
Great. Okay, I think we're on to policies. And that's you, Laura.
The first one I have is the whistleblower policy. This one is coming back. It has been looked at by the attorney. He added the things in red. The biggest thing he wanted to make sure that I pointed out is in number 4. He said it's really important that only the director or the president, depending on who the claim is about, be involved in the investigation of the problem, so that there aren't all the board members and all the administration and everybody, with their doing the investigation. So that was the most important part, but and the rest were his suggestions as far as informing the board on what's going on. And so this is up for your approval.
I just have a recommendation on something very simple. Just to be consistent, we should be capitalizing board throughout the document.
Okay.
I know we've capitalized library. Where do you see that, Cheryl?
Well, in number 4, it says each member of the board, so board
Oh,
should be.
okay. Great.
you know, and it's capitalized up here when it says Board of Trustees, but it should
Right.
continue to be capitalized.
And 5 also.
Yeah. Yeah.
I move we approve this policy with the amendments just mentioned.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay.
The next one is the public computer and Wi-Fi policy. This one is also coming back as an action item with the one minor change on page 22 that's in red that was suggested. And this has been looked at by the attorney.
Move to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, keep going, Laura.
Okay. The incident report, I talked to the attorney about, there was a suggestion that the board be contacted as far as incidents go, anytime there's an incident report. The attorney and I talked about it, and this is her suggestion that's in blue. And the reasoning behind it is because a lot of the incident reports are, all the reasons that are listed in A. If they're, on a computer doing something wrong, then, and we have to say something to them, there's an incident report. If somebody, there's a lot of different reasons, and also for privacy reasons. Say, for instance, there's somebody in the library that is threatening self-harm, and we have to call police. Their name goes on this incident report. That's not something that and there's HIPAA laws, and so it's not something that information really shouldn't be shared widely. I would certainly let everybody know something had happened, but as far as sharing the actual report, it was not recommended by the attorney. So her suggestion is in blue to change that wording on number 4. This was approved at the last meeting, if you remember, with that change, but she suggests we reword it a little bit.
Okay. Any questions? Comments? I have a comment. Did you and I talk about this? I can't remember. Would an incident report concern somebody having a medical issue in the
You
building?
could, yes.
And that's also privacy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I like the suggestion of the lawyer. I think that makes sense.
I agree.
Okay. Could we have a motion?
I move to approve the incident report with the attorney's suggestion for number 4.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that one passes too. Now we're on to donations and gifts.
Okay. Donations and gifts was a policy and guidelines, which you have on page 29 are the guidelines. And for the sake of keeping things simple, it was actually really repetitive. A lot of the stuff that's in the guidelines was in the policy. So we decided it might be best to combine the two into just one policy. And the changes are here. This is the first time you're seeing this one. So, and then I suggest that we rescind the guidelines because I don't think we need both.
Any questions for Laura?
I did have one.
Okay.
I think it's very well written. I support it. In A4, the second line, just remove the apostrophe after friend. So it's just maybe forwarded to the friends of the library. That'd be the only change I would suggest.
I didn't see that. Are we on page 28, Jay?
Page 27,
Page 27.
A4.
I see. Okay. Yep.
Sorry, material donations.
So you want to take out the
Yeah, it shouldn't be possessive. It's all
Okay.
just friends.
Good catch.
Anything else?
Yeah, I just had a question. Are the procedures your internal procedures, like part of the standard operating procedures? Do you have those for staff? Do they have something to look at?
We don't currently have a procedure for donations and gifts. It is actually on my list of things to do.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. If this is part of your standard operating procedure, then obviously you don't need it. I just wanted to make sure you have it.
Yeah, it's kind of everybody just knows, but it needs to be.
Sure.
written down.
Okay, so that'll be done.
Mhm.
Okay.
Will that come back with this one for next month, or is that something separate?
Procedures are usually just internal.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So just, what you do, somebody hands you a check, what do you need to do?
Okay. All right, any other questions?
Just a comment.
Uh-huh.
It's just a wording issue on the material, A, number 3. Just make it a little simpler. Gifts to the library governmental unit may qualify as a federal tax deduction and as a Michigan tax credit. The donor, and then the change is responsible for his or her tax benefit that may affect the gift. It's
Sounds
just,
good.
it's a little
Is responsible.
simpler wording, I think.
Can you say that one more time?
Okay. From the semicolon, the donor is responsible for his or her tax benefits that may affect the gift.
Okay.
Do you have that, Laura?
Got it.
Okay, great. Anything else?
Move to approve as amended.
Well, I have one, hang on one second.
Oh, okay.
This one actually isn't an action.
Yeah.
item.
Yeah,
Next
this
one.
is
This is
first.
our
That's
first look-see.
I understand having on the very first paragraph on page 27, and is grateful for, but I feel like, I don't know, does that need to be in there?
It doesn't need to be in there.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
And of course, we're grateful for all the,
Right.
the donations that we get. I don't know if it makes it too wordy to have that extra in there.
Maybe we could say and appreciates, which is a little bit,
I don't know, I mean, we welcome donations or gifts. I don't know that there really needs to be anything in there, does there? Since it's a policy, it's not a warm fuzzy thank you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll get a warm fuzzy
Right.
letter.
They get a warm fuzzy.
So it would read, the Brandon Township Public Library welcomes donations or gifts that
I
will
like
promote.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so take out and is grateful for.
fine.
You okay with that, Laura?
Sure.
Okay.
I just feel like, yeah, it's nice, but.
And you'll bring back a clean copy for
Right,
us.
for next month.
And does this go to the attorney?
It wouldn't hurt, just,
Can we afford it?
that's another question.
That was kind of my thought.
I know.
Laura, do we rescind the old one at the same time that we approve the new one, or if we rescind it
Um,
tonight?
Well,
We don't have that as an action.
yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
so
this is
next
that time,
one
so I'll bring it
Next
both back
month,
next month.
We'll go with that next one.
I just wanted to make sure that it was okay with rescinding it before.
Yeah.
Okay. Finance, Jay.
Oh, we're there already, huh?
We are, do you believe it? I know. What's happening
Too
here?
much finance these days.
Yeah.
So last month, we talked about a change in the purchasing policy, and we talked about approving our budget, not only at the cost center, but at the line item level. What I don't think we intended to do was to put restrictions on the library director in terms of the ability to move things between line items within a cost center. And obviously, if they're a large change, we want to be notified of it or even be involved in the approval process. So the Finance Committee, through electronic mail, got together and came up with some language, which I think we've distributed to everyone can. Hopefully, everybody's had a chance to look at it. So the proposal would be that the purchasing policy under purchases, which is section 1, would start out now with the library director has the authority within the current cost center budget to approve purchases. Further, the director may move funds between line items within cost centers, but will obtain board approval in advance of such moves over $5,000. The rest of the policy would not change, would be the same that we approved last month, which I won't go ahead and read because I know everybody has seen that. So it's for discussion. If anybody has any comments about that, Laura, if you want to make any comments about that, I would recommend that we approve it.
Let's go around then. Cheryl,
I'm good.
you're good? Verna? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
You
good.
good, Heather? Susan?
Clears it up.
Okay, Jay?
So-
I have a question.
Oh, all right.
So, did we talk, who did I talk to about this? Look, anyway, let's say you have a purchase of $3,000. You would let us know anyway. It isn't something you would just move the money. We would like to know that too. And you would.
If I had to move money from one line to another?
I think so. Is that what I'm trying to say? No?
I feel like it depends on what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've approved
Tell
the
me.
budget for 2024 at
Right.
a line item level. And within that is certain things, for example, our cleaning contract, our copy machine contract, all those kinds of things are in there. So those are approved. It would be new contracts.
Over
Right.
5,000. Right, over 5,000.
Over $5,000, and renewals of things, anything that commits us for 1 year or more, or beyond one
That's more than
one year, I guess the way it reads. Yeah, over 1 year.
Okay, well, I'm just
So
going
a
to give,
$3,000 contract, there might be something, but if it's new, it would come to the board.
well, I'm just going to give an example. Let's say our cleaning contract, they quit,
Mhm.
and she has to hire somebody, and it's more money.
Mhm.
We would know about that. I mean, even if it's between board meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make
Yeah, I would
sense?
agree with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
It's a large one.
It isn't that we wouldn't approve, it's just that we want to know.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Did you have something, Cheryl? Did you say?
No, I was just going to make a motion.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody else have a question? Okay, Cheryl.
Move to approve the change in the purchasing policy.
Second. Okay, and I know this doesn't have to be a roll call vote, but I am going to make it a roll call vote. Jay?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Verna?
Yes.
Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay, and Jan, yes. Okay, and it passes. Okay, any communication? I don't think so. Director eval questions. Heather?
Okay. So we went back and we redid
4 hours
Basically,
later.
we did. It was 4 hours for
Oh,
tonight.
my
Sat down, but
gosh.
thank you for all of the suggestions that we got. We got suggestions, with lots of different rewrites, and then Verna and I sat down and we analyzed all of the different information that we got and everything that we got. And what you see in front of you is what we came up with. Now, you have all received a red line version as well. That was before this. So I'm assuming everyone had a chance to read through. So let's discuss how we're going to move forward from here. Are there any changes that we need to look at, first of all, with the questions that we have?
I would like to make one comment.
Okay.
One of the things that Heather and I realized is that some of the objections was because of the length of the questionnaire and that it took so long. And so we really tried to condense and, keep everything that we thought was really important in, but to make it less cumbersome. So that was our.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
If I can make a comment, I thought it was a terrific job. So, thank you so much.
Wow.
I read all the questions. I thought they were very well worded.
For you,
and,
Jay.
Trying to think about the topics. Does this address leadership? Does this address managing staff? And after having done hundreds of reviews for people myself, I thought this was a really good job.
Thank you.
And my biggest concern was the managing staff, because how were we going to know? But these
Mhm.
questions are perfect. That's something we can handle.
Good job.
Good job. Good job, Verna.
We did.
No,
We did. Okay.
Anything else? Anybody else have comments?
Comments on
Okay.
any of the questions? Okay, the other thing that we need to decide then, I still feel that we should have a grade for each of the questions, but I know there are others who don't feel that that's the right thing to do. Now that we have bared down the questions, how does everybody feel about doing that? Go ahead, Jay.
I think with this pared down list, I'm comfortable rating each one
Okay.
and then having comments on the overall category. I don't know how
Yeah,
others
that's
do
what I
that.
was thinking.
I like that idea.
I like that too.
It just gives us that specific, so we can go back and look at the individual questions and
Is the grading at the top?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what you'll have: exceptional, effective, developing, or needs support. Those are the grades that we're going to use.
Is it a check-off thing?
No, they'll be numbered, I think.
Oh,
Shauna? I'm calling you on this one.
I was just thinking about that. Numbers are probably,
The easiest way to do that.
Click the box.
Right.
it might be either tick the box or a number. If we do a number, it might be too calculated, whereas if we do tick the box, it would be majority.
Okay.
So when I actually go to put it together for you guys is when I can see
Look at it.
Would it,
what will work the best.
so we'd have the majority, but it would rank like second, like say 4 to 6. Four of them,
Feel that
said
it's
it was one
exceptional.
thing, 2 another. Doesn't mean those 2 aren't important. Would it rank those?
Yeah, it would do across your guys' ranking scale of the exceptional to need support. So say 4 say exceptional and 2 say developing, then you would see 2 different bars for both
For
of
that,
those.
okay.
I think that's what we had
Yeah.
before,
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. Then are we going to do a comment section
For each
on
group.
each numbered item, right?
No, for each group.
That's what I
So,
mean.
right,
Yeah.
so there'll be one comment section for strategic plan. there'll
Yeah,
be
for
one
number
comments
one,
in- right,
okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
One more question, if I
Yeah,
could.
sure.
I think you had talked in the past about maybe having a tool that we could use consistently going forward in forward years. Is that what you're thinking with this too?
That's
Keep
my
the
idea.
questions,
Right.
lock them down, so
Right,
unless
yep.
another board comes in and changes them.
Yeah, well, I mean, there could be a different, well, we'll have the same VP next year. But there could be, somebody else.
Because I think
comes in
that's
and
more
wants to-
helpful to the individual to see,
I think
trends
so
and
too.
things. And
Yeah, I think so
sort of
too.
thing.
I mean, we'll always have the opportunity to look at it, and refresh if we need to, but I think it makes sense to
Yeah.
have consistency there, so.
Any other questions?
Laura? Any
No.
comments? Okay.
Well, your 4 hours were well spent.
Yeah, thank you.
We're
We
not
had
that
fun.
much.
Yes, we did.
Um,
And
approve.
Oh, so we do need to approve.
I would like to make one comment though. We were both on the committee. She did 85% of the work, so just the truth.
Okay, Cheryl, you move to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Jay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Laura, the exit interview.
Okay, we talked about the exit interview a little bit last month, and I included the exit interview questionnaire in the packet for you to take a look at. And I know there was talk about the board speaking with people as they are leaving. And I shared with you the email survey I sent out to the TLN directors list, saying that usually is the job of the director, not usually the job of the board. But my suggestion would be to add to the exit interview, and like I said, I want to revamp this. I think we could make it a little bit better. But we could add a checkbox that says, would you like to speak to a board member about your employment or your reason for leaving, or I haven't figured out quite the wording yet for it, but we could certainly add that here. And then, of course, when we do get these, and not everybody fills them out, but out of the 2 people we had leave this year, only 1 fills it out. And then, of course, the copy always goes to Jan, or the president. But I'm open to any suggestions on the form itself. If you think there's something that's missing, I'm interested to hear.
Okay, any comments, questions?
I do.
just-
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I do like the idea of having the option, but I don't know that it should be opened up to any board member. I think it should be specifically the board president if they want somebody to talk to. That's supposed to be the spokesperson for the board, so I think that should be the point person. Just my personal opinion. So, yeah.
Well, I don't think when we made comments that we actually wanted to see the actual document, because we know they filled this out, we know they have an opportunity to have an exit interview with you and their manager or whoever. I think if we could just, if you learn anything from that, if you could just share it with us. You know, part of your director's report, whatever. I think that would be helpful to us. And it doesn't have to be, you know, name names or any of that type of thing, just an overall, you know, if there was an issue, so to speak, why they left, and what's being done about it, if it needed to be corrected or whatever.
And that's what we met with Claire, and that's what she suggested,
Yeah.
is to give the board a summary of either our conversation or the questionnaire if they, you know, if they filled it out.
Sure.
But a summary to the board of.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need all the detail, but I just think that, you know, if you can give us a quick summary, that would be great.
Yeah, because if we have 5 people that leave and they all say it's because, you know, they want more vacation days or whatever, then that would be
Sure.
a decision for the board to make, so.
She initially said to just, the director should just give the board a summary once every 3 months, but we don't have that many people leave, hopefully. Yeah, so,
No, and I hate to have somebody leave, you know, the first day of the 3 months and we don't hear about it till 90 days later.
true,
Right.
absolutely. And we said that really doesn't fit for
No.
Brandon.
I do feel it should be the director's discretion, though. That's, you know, I mean,
Oh,
if it's
yeah.
just, I just decided I wanted to go somewhere else. I mean, there really isn't anything to discuss.
Oh,
No,
for sure.
no, I agree
For sure.
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing to know.
Yeah.
I mean, because, you know, if you have one person who just decides they, you know, they really want to start their own business or whatever, and somebody else leaves for a different reason, you have 3 people who leave at the same time, we should understand why these 3 people left, that it was not related. So I think.
But also, the exit interview is totally optional. They
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have
Oh, well,
to.
of course.
Yeah, they don't have to.
Yeah,
fill out
well,
one, so,
Absolutely,
Mhm.
that's understood.
okay. All right, this, anything else anybody wants to ask Laura about this? And you'll get back to us on this, right?
Yeah, I'll revamp this a little bit and bring it back next month.
Great, okay. All right, job descriptions.
Okay, I have 2 job descriptions in the packet this month. Ms. Shauna's implementation manager position is here, and it's been reformatted and added to quite a bit. She does a lot, and hopefully she never leaves, but if she does, hopefully we can find somebody who does all the things that Shauna does. But, so I have added a few things. Actually, I've kind of added a lot. And Shauna and I worked on this together, so does anybody have any questions?
Just an edit.
Okay.
Job summary, you put friends. I'd like to add in of the library.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
And I just have an edit too. In the first line, it says analysis as opposed to analyzes. And I think this looks really good, and I'm glad Shauna worked on it, because I think she's the only one that knows.
Yeah.
She's so behind the scenes on a lot of things.
Okay. And do you, where is,
Well, let me do these are an action item, and then the other one that I have them both together for as far as an action item. The other one is the building monitor, and I explained it a little bit, but
oh, right. Yeah,
the building monitor was a position that was brought on when when the middle school was next door, and we used to get inundated with preteens and teenagers, and the building monitor was there to make sure people were behaving themselves and following the rules, and behaving in the restrooms and all of that kind of stuff. With the middle school gone, we do still have quite a few teens here, but I don't see ever filling this position again.
So we don't have one right now.
We don't have one. We haven't had one in a really long time.
When we first opened.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
So my suggestion is just
Okay.
send this one.
So do we have someone who does some of the stuff, or just kind of all the staff or sort
All of the staff,
responsible?
and if it becomes a real problem, then come and get me.
Okay, okay. So it's handled, it's not like,
Right,
There's enough eyes on the situation.
right.
okay.
So my question would be, is there any reason to rescind it? I mean, who knows what the future holds, so.
We could always bring it back if we needed to.
It have to be rewritten in the new format.
Yeah, it's got to be rewritten anyway.
Okay. That's fine.
And now we have a police academy over here, so.
Right.
Any other questions, concerns? Okay, we need a motion then.
Move to approve the implementation manager description and rescind the building monitor
With the 2 changes.
with the changes. Yep.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And motion passes. Okay, signage.
Shauna and Fran and I are all, I don't know if you noticed, we look like we're starting a girl band. We all work at the same gas station.
I didn't get the memo.
Right, it was a little coincidence. Yeah, we should have called Kathleen.
I'm one, I won.
She's the lead singer, so she has to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Fran's the singer, not me.
anyway, I defer to Shauna.
All right, last month we brought you the entire project plan for all the bits and pieces of the signage project that we wanted to do. There was 4 stages. We're like, okay, we got the first one approved, and we got the check sent out to them, and they should be coming in December to start doing all of our indoor signage. So the next piece of the signage project was the perforated vinyl window claiming type things that would be on the front 3 windows underneath the portico. And it's just to help make staff not feel like they are in a fishbowl and having kind of patrons staring at us as we're working kind of deal, and so on and so forth. So the very first page that you'll notice is, I gotta reference what number it is.
38?
38, yes. So 38 are the 3 designs. The first one would be on the front, the first window next to the door. The middle one would be on the middle window, and the last one would be on the last window next to the lockers. So we talked to all 3 companies again, and you'll see Signorama wants to charge us $2,100. Fast Signs is $2,300, and then we were able to have Paramount Signs come over and physically speak with us, and she gave us the same quote as what was listed in her long one, but this one only has the perforated windows on it, thankfully. So this one is $885. So the library would like to recommend or ask to move forward with working with Paramount Graphics on getting the 3 window designs installed on a day that is over 40 degrees. Preferably before our new budget year rolls over too, because we will be able to use our promotions budget line to pay for this particular part of the project.
Questions?
Just one. There's such a large dollar difference here. Is there any difference in what we are going to receive? Maybe the quality of the vinyl or something? I mean, I don't know, but that seems pretty significant.
right? So Cinerama charges a design setup so that like we've already designed the concept that we are interested in. So that is on there as well as the installation fees. Unfortunately, Fast Signs does not break that out, but you can see on the Cinerama one, it's going to cost $500 just for installation, whereas Paramount Graphics is only charging us $75 to do all three. So, but when I talk to all three companies about, do you have to do it on a particular temperature day, or can you cut the vinyl in any fashion? They all give me the same answers. It's got to be above 40 degrees out. We have to clean the windows, and we can't cut certain portions out and replace it. It just doesn't work that way.
Are these inside or outside?
They're outside.
Outside.
Yep, they're installed outside.
The nice thing about them is they let the light in, but you can't see.
Nice.
So they might be able to see a shadow, like know someone is there, but you can't see exactly what they're doing. And I think it will really brighten up that portico. It's a little dark back there, so I think the nice bright images will.
Oh, they're white? Oh, they are white, aren't they?
Yeah.
I had one more question. What was it? So this, the 51.5 by 26, is that the size of the windows? It'll cover?
The top windows. So the bottom windows, they have screens in them, and we do open those up to get some airflow. So we are looking at only doing the top window.
And it covers the whole window?
It does.
Okay.
Are these fade resistant? Do you know, like, do we have an approximate, when are we going to have to look at replacing these? Because, I mean, this is the kind of thing that's not going to last forever, obviously. Do we have an idea of?
They are pretty protected.
I was going to say under the
To
portico.
the
Well,
weather,
yeah,
the
for
weather,
sure.
and they aren't going to get a lot of sun, they're not going to get a lot of wind or rain or anything like that, so I think they'll last longer. We were talking about that actually right before the meeting. If we couldn't, it was 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, we couldn't.
Okay.
We talked to her about so many different kinds of signs. There were metal signs and plastic signs and the window clings, and everything had a different warranty on it, and we couldn't remember what the warranty was.
So they are warranted too?
They are warranted.
Okay.
We couldn't remember if it was 5 years, 9 years, 7 years.
Okay.
Something like
Somewhere
that.
in there.
But I think it'll last longer than that because they are so protected in there.
Okay.
Now, there's some warranty that it's not covered under weather. A weather warranty is not covered. So if we have a tornado all of a sudden and the tornado whips it off, it wouldn't be covered.
Excellent. I think they
Sure how that would
Yeah.
Glass breaks.
So, but if someone comes by and they are hauling in a box and the box goes and tears it, that would be covered.
Okay, okay. So just nothing weather related, everything else is kind of.
Actually, that kind of thing.
Yeah, one more question. These are going on the outside of the windows, and I know this would never happen here, but I'm going to ask anyway. What about vandalism? Can they be picked off or pulled off, or?
So it would be very difficult to do that, but we would just have it taken off and replaced.
And that's covered?
For vandalism,
Wouldn't that be
I'll double check.
That would be under our liability insurance.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
that
okay.
property and liability, yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But they're only, what, $225 a piece? So I think our deductible is $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
We would probably just have to find
We'll
another.
pull the other ones off.
The nice thing too is Paramount is right here.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's
And
not
they would
like
already
they're
have the
coming.
design, and they
Right.
could probably just make us a new one if we needed to.
Any other questions?
I move that we approve the Paramount signs purchase for $885.
Second.
Okay, this is roll call. Cheryl?
Yep.
Berna?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
And me, yes. Okay, you're all set to go. Staff reports. Did Alyssa really send that in?
No. She brought the baby in yesterday.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I got to
So
hold her.
pretty.
Aw.
Okay.
Having 3, it's an accomplishment, I'm just saying. She deserves to
Yep.
Yes,
recognize that.
absolutely.
Could I make a comment?
Sure.
One of the things I enjoy reading all of these, but I'm particularly interested in all of the things we're doing for the teens, bringing the teens in, whether it's, costumes or bringing them in for reading and programs like that, activities. We talked about the need to engage them more, and you guys have been doing a great job in that respect. I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Just piggybacking off of
Yeah,
Jen.
go ahead.
I had to laugh when Jesse talked in his report about having to
Yeah.
debrief after. That's totally my kids, you guys.
Oh, they did that?
No
too?
one insists that Jesse come and debrief me on everything that happened.
Oh, no.
Oh,
in the
no.
Dungeons and Dragons class. So it cracks me up. He's such a good sport about it. And I love that about him. But
And then Noah
it's just
debriefed
really
me on the
good.
way to.
Oh, did he tell
up
you
the
about it
driveway.
too? Yeah.
He told me all about it.
I love that this is such an amazing place for my kids. And I mean, when they started with Ms. Brand's story times when they were itty bitty, and I love that it's such a welcoming place and that everybody here is so amazing with the kids from, here up to here. So it's awesome. My eldest comes and studies here and, I mean, it's just, we love it. We love it here. You guys are amazing. So thank you.
I do have a question, actually, for Fran. The winner of the VFW's writing contest, is that on display somewhere?
Last year was the first year, because you asked, and we had them on display in our youth department for a couple months.
Okay.
And so I think we should do that again. So I go in December, I'm invited to the award ceremony, and so it's really nice. I get to meet the students and their families and see them get their awards, and it's a really nice evening. And they get scholarship money, and there were 28, like I said in my report, there were 28 essays to read. It takes a long time, and you really sometimes have to read them over like 4 times or whatever to get those top winners. So, but it's an honor to always get to be a judge for that every year. But yes, you recommended that last year, and so I put them in stands, and we displayed them in the youth department. So
Proud of our youth.
we sure are. They're really good writers, and they were very interesting essays this year. But then thank you for your recommendations. Last year was the first year we've actually displayed them.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Verna?
Shauna, the PLA 2023 Technology Survey, would you share the results of that when it comes back with us? Or is that something you can do?
I can. I'm just trying to think of how long they're going to take to analyze it.
Right. I'm sure it will be, yeah.
So, but yes, I will I'll put it on the calendar.
Thank you.
Anything else? Cheryl?
Well, I'm just impressed with not only the programs where we're bringing people in here, but the things that we're doing out in the community, a lot of our outreach that we're doing, that, we're working with BGYA, that Parks and Rec came in and talked about working. I mean, I think that cooperation with other organizations in the community is so important to the library, and that we're contributing to our community that way. And I just want to commend the staff and Laura on doing that, because that's important.
Thank you. Anything else? Shauna, I did have a question. You said updating our 2024 statistics tracking. Do you know about this, Laura? Do you know it? Okay, can either one of you talk about that?
So,
For 2 minutes.
Our state aid they will change what they collect. So this year they started tracking passive programming, which we didn't do before, because they didn't think that take and makes were still considered a programming objective. And then librarians rebelled and said, we're using our programming supply money to buy all this stuff, so we should track it. So They're started to do that. They've started, I'm so happy that they've started to track this too, outreach services and in-reach services. So we've been tracking that for Fran for a very long time, but we've never been able to apply it outside of Brandon until this year with state aid. So just updating all of our metrics for what is to come, so that when I go through and make our annual report, or Laura has to do the state aid, we don't have to like take a ton of time to compile all that information. I put it into one place so that all we have to do is look at one document.
Great, okay.
Very helpful.
Mhm.
I would-
Also,
I
go
have
ahead.
a comment, if that's okay. I would just like to commend the staff because we do have 2 people out right now. And they are all covering for Rebecca's programs and listens to night shifts and all of that. And I have not had one complaint. They just, okay, I'll do it and I'll be there. They're wonderful. So I just had to throw that out there.
We do have the best librarians around.
Mhm. And tell Taylor congratulations
Yes.
for her new job.
Our first report.
Okay,
I have one more comment.
go ahead.
I'm really impressed with the Steps and Stories program, and always have been. But kudos that now Oakland County is looking at it and possibly, sharing it with other communities.
I was really excited about that. Tasha asked if she could interview me, and she took my report, Bob MacArthur said, to the Oakland County, the other, caseworkers, and they thought it was doable, and so that makes me very happy. It's a program that's near and dear to my heart, and the children and the families out there just so appreciate it, and it's been wonderful to see the children just blossom, because I have a literacy circle and they read a page from the book every time, and it's just a really rewarding program, and it just does my heart good to see the children and the families enjoy it so much. So I got a really great donation from a patron for presents items that I can use for presents for the children. And so I asked Laura if I could do a special Christmas program for them. So December 13th, I get to do a special Christmas program for them, and I'm really excited. And I also love the collaboration with Eastern Stars and Brandon Groveland Youth Assistance. The support from the community has been wonderful. I make posts every week, well, sometimes not every week, but several times during the 8-week session. And then when, like this particular patron, she saw one of my posts and she said, oh, I have some great things to donate for that. And I said, oh, wonderful. So she had donated vases. The children all got to make vases for Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving cards. And so it's really been a great program that I enjoy doing for outreach, and just seeing past students that have been coming, since they were 4, and now they're seniors in high school and want to help out with it. So it has been fun. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Or should we go on to statistics? Any comments?
Yes. On not the renewals. Yeah, the auto renewals, we have already exceeded our 2022 numbers, and I thought that was pretty impressive,
That's awesome.
especially since mine always closed. I love it.
Good. Okay, anyone else?
Talk about the statistics?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a couple of things jumped out for me. One was the new patrons, October, 111. If you average the prior 2 months, this is a 40% increase in October over the average of the prior 2 months, so that's amazing. A little bit further down in the middle of the page, when we look at programs, teen sessions and teen attendance, bringing more teens in again is a focus area for me. And then lastly, I had a question. Under outreach for August, it had 0 for inReach and inReach attendance and inReach sessions. And I wondered, is this something new?
I can address that. That's because in August, the schools are closed. And by inReach, those statistics are classrooms coming over, and you're going to see a huge jump in that. It's not public comment time, but you're going to see a huge jump in that. And I'm really excited about the 111 new card holders because as part of my personal goal this year, it was to increase the amount of older students. I do a lot of programming for babies up to, like 2nd grade, but as part of my personal goal this year, I wanted to reach out to the 4th and 5th grade classes and from Harvey Swanson for them to walk over. And the CERT department's just been amazing. They make all the cards. This month you'll see a lot. The amount of card holders for November go way up. And the new CERT staff members, Haley and Marley, they're just amazing. They've made a lot of the new cards, and they're so good with the children. And I'm so happy these 5th graders come in, and they're like, a few of them is, oh, is this the mall? This is beautiful, A lot of families never bring their children to the library. So it's been a really exciting thing for me as an outreach person to be able to get the 4th and 5th grade teachers, bringing them over, and they absolutely love it. They love bringing them here, and the students look forward to it, and but inReach, that's what that is, classes coming to the library. And in the summer, we don't have school, so there are classes coming.
Thanks so much.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Any other comments, questions? Okay. Calendar review. We will have a strategic plan update next month, and fiscal year ends. Any public comment?
I just want to say I was really excited when Shauna told me that my outreach numbers, will count. I have a spreadsheet and I keep track of all my attendance and everything. And, since I am the outreach liaison librarian, it's, outreach is important, and I think the work that's done is important, not just because I'm doing it, but as a whole it's important. And so I was really happy when she told me that the outreach figures would be included. I think that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. And what I noticed when you said a little earlier, you didn't say I have to do a Christmas program, you said I get to do a Christmas program.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Yeah. We're just so blessed. We have such a wonderful staff. Oh,
and it is a joy. I mean, the whole staff, we just work really well as a team, and with our leaders, and just as the veteran and the oldest person on staff, I always tell them, I said, don't put me on the pastry up, because I can do a new short time. But anyway, it's a joy to work here, and I think that's, how we all feel. So.
Well, and I also want to call out Laura too, because she, just like Verna and Heather, she did 85% of my job description. Because I was happy just riding along with other duties assigned, But the thing you guys will probably get a kick out of is it used to say basic computer, basic technology, and Laura changed it to advanced. I'm like, do you really think that needs to say it?
Yeah, and web design.
yes.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
She set the standard.
We're definitely in the advanced category when it comes to that stuff.
Thank you for all you guys do.
Great.
It's amazing.
Okay, anything on hold? Items for next agenda, we do have the exit interview that Laura will bring back. What else?
Policy.
There was a policy, the donations and gifts policy.
Okay,
I'll have more job description.
all right. And when will we expect our director evaluation? When will we get that?
Well, I'll work with Shauna on it. My goal is to have it, to be able to present the results in January. So we do have some time. to put that together. So I'll work with Shauna this month and we can revisit that in December if you want to do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, anything
Fewer
else?
number of questions, it probably won't take us that long.
No, yeah, right. Here's something.
That's a real hot coffee.
So the goal is to have.
To present the results in January. So,
To have it ready for that, for us to input at the December meeting?
A little early.
No.
no, I think it would be better to push it until after the holidays to send out the actual survey, just because I feel like everything is so
You're right.
busy.
Okay.
Then, but that gives us some time to put together the,
Yeah, because that only gives you 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So do you want to have
Yeah.
everybody take it in 1 week and then you have a week to analyze and then have a week to put it in the board packet? Or,
No, right.
So we will
you
receive
know, I'd
it
rather have, we'll receive it,
in January.
yes, sometimes
Okay.
after the December meeting.
Okay,
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
okay. So do you want it on the next agenda, director evaluation, or no?
Is there anything else that we will need to discuss about it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, until we get the results of it.
Okay, so we'll hold that for January.
Yeah, we'll put that on January.
Okay, anything else? Are we all set? Then I believe we are adjourned at 6:11 p.m.